Folks, if you keep getting shut down, it is not because she is cold, it is because you are asking at the wrong emotional moment. Let's be real. You are on a date. The vibe is good. There is eye contact, maybe a little touch, and you feel that pull. But then your mind panics. If I go for it and she says no, I look needy. If I wait, I go home, frustrated, replaying every second, wondering what you should have said. My friend, most men think intimacy is about the right words. It is not. It is about the setup. Women rarely reject closeness when they feel safe, chosen, and unpressured. They reject when they feel cornered, rushed, or evaluated. In this video, I will show you a simple psychological approach that keeps your masculine frame intact while letting her lean in naturally. No begging, no awkward direct requests, no guessing games, just clear steps that turn tension into comfort and comfort into her decision. You will learn how to read the moment, how to speak with calm confidence, and how to create an exit so she never feels trapped at all. Subscribe if you want practical Stoic clarity for modern dating, and stay with me until the end, because one small shift will change how you lead every intimate moment from tonight on. Let's get into it. Step 1. Read the moment before desire. Folks, before you ever ask for intimacy, you have to learn to read the moment. Most rejection does not happen because she is not attracted. It happens because the timing is off. Desire has a rhythm, and when you rush, you create pressure. When you hesitate too long, you drain the tension and end up confused. Let's be real. Attraction breathes. It expands, it pauses, it comes closer, then it tests distance. Your job is not to force the next move. Your job is to notice when the door is opening and to move with calm control, not with panic. Here is what that looks like in real life. Michael is 47, a financial advisor from Chicago. Sarah is 43, recently divorced, confident and guarded in the way a woman gets after a few bad experiences. They are on a second date at a low-lit wine bar. The conversation is good, but then it slows. Eye contact holds. Sarah stops checking her phone. She leans in when she speaks, then lets the silence sit. Michael feels that pull and his mind starts racing. Should I go for a kiss now? This is where men sabotage themselves. Reading the moment means you watch her signals instead of obeying your own anxiety. Does her body stay open? Are her shoulders relaxed? Does she mirror your pace? Is her voice softer? Does she stay present when the conversation pauses? Or does she suddenly fill the silence with nervous chatter? Silence is not danger, my friend. Silence is attraction breathing. Michael does one simple thing. He slows down. He lowers his voice. He does not lunge forward. He lets the pause exist without trying to earn it. Sarah touches her glass, then brushes his hand for half a second. That touch is information. It is not an invitation to grab. It is a signal to stay grounded and let her feel safe. Stoicism is built for this. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you should act with reason, not impulse. In dating, reason means timing. Epictetus taught that the first task is to examine your impressions. Your impression is this moment needs a big move. The truth might be this moment needs patience, so you check. If she leans away, crosses her arms, angles her hips out, or speeds up her speech, the door is closing. If she holds eye contact, stays close, mirrors your posture, and seems comfortable with quiet, the door is opening. Another sign is compliance without effort. If she chooses to stay when she could easily step away, that is comfort. If she creates little reasons to remain near you, that is interest. Michael keeps the conversation light. He holds her gaze, then looks away first to show control. He smiles, not needy, not cold. Sarah moves her chair a few inches closer. Now the intimacy is moving toward him. He is not chasing it. He is leading it by staying calm. Folks, women rarely reject closeness when the moment feels natural. They reject when they feel pressured, tested, or rushed. Read the moment first, and you protect your frame, your dignity, and the connection. If you want to lock this in, type this in the comments. I trust timing. Stay right here, my friend. This is the foundation that makes everything else feel effortless, and you do not want to miss the next steps that sharpen your instincts in real time. Step 2. Create emotional safety first. Folks, before intimacy ever becomes physical, it must become safe. This is where most men get it wrong. They think safety kills attraction. In reality, the absence of safety is what creates rejection. Emotional safety is not comfort. It is calm confidence without expectation. Let's be honest. A woman decides whether intimacy is possible long before you ask for it. That decision happens when she senses pressure, urgency, or hidden need. Emotional safety exists when she feels free to say no without consequences. Ironically, that freedom is what opens the door to yes. Psychology backs this up. When a woman feels evaluated or rushed, her defenses rise. When she feels steady energy and emotional patience, her nervous system relaxes. Desire cannot move forward if her body feels guarded. Safety is the foundation that allows tension to build without fear. Stoicism explains this better than any dating advice ever could. Epictetus taught that we should focus only on what is within our control. Her response is not in your control, your presence is. When you accept that your energy changes, you stop trying to extract intimacy and start allowing it. Creating emotional safety starts with removing outcome dependence. You are not there to get something from her. You are there to share a moment. When she feels that you are not keeping score, her guard drops naturally. This shows up in small ways. You do not rush silence. You do not over-explain. You do not fill space with nervous words. You allow pauses to exist. Calm becomes the container for attraction. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the mind should remain tranquil and free from disturbance. That tranquility is felt. When your presence is unshaken, whether intimacy happens or not, you become safe to move toward. Another part of emotional safety is permission to stop. When a woman knows she can pull back at any moment, she feels more willing to lean in. Pressure disappears when exit is always available. This is why subtle reassurance matters. Not verbal reassurance, but behavioral reassurance. You slow down instead of escalating. You respond instead of pursuing. Stoicism teaches restraint as strength. Seneca warned that desire without discipline enslaves the mind. When a man can feel desire and still remain composed, he signals security. That security is deeply attractive. Safety also comes from emotional presence, being fully there, listening without interrupting, responding without steering the conversation toward an outcome. When she feels seen as a person rather than a target, intimacy becomes mutual instead of negotiated. Here is the shift most men miss. Emotional safety does not mean being passive, it means being steady. Leadership remains, but it is patient leadership. You guide the moment by staying grounded, not by pushing it forward. When emotional safety is present, resistance fades, not because she is convinced, but because she feels free. That freedom allows desire to emerge on its own terms. If this insight lands, ground it now by commenting below. I create safety. Stay with me here. What you are learning builds a foundation most men skip, and without it, nothing else works the way it should. Keep going. This awareness will change how women experience your presence long before intimacy ever becomes a question. Step 3. Build slow sexual tension. Folks, once emotional safety is in place, this is where most men either rush and ruin it or hesitate and drain it. Sexual tension is not created by bold moves. It is created by restraint. Slow tension makes intimacy feel inevitable instead of forced. Let's be real for a moment. Fast escalation satisfies anxiety, not attraction. Slow tension allows desire to stretch, breathe, and grow. It keeps her nervous system engaged without triggering defense. Here is how this looks in real life. Daniel is 49, a tech consultant from Seattle. He is on a third date with Laura, 45, confident, feminine, and observant. They are sitting on a couch after dinner. The conversation is relaxed. The energy is warm. Daniel feels desire building, but he does not act on impulse. Instead of leaning in, he stays grounded. He speaks a little slower. He holds eye contact a second longer, then looks away calmly. When Laura laughs, he smiles and pauses instead of filling the space. That pause creates awareness. Awareness creates tension. This is the part most men misunderstand. Sexual tension is not about touching more, it is about touching less, but with intention. Daniel lightly places his hand near Laura's, not on it. He lets the closeness exist. When their hands brush, he does not grab. He lets the contact pass and continues the conversation. Laura shifts closer on her own. Now the movement comes from her, not him. Psychology explains this clearly. Desire grows in the space between intention and fulfillment. When gratification is delayed, anticipation rises. When a man removes urgency, attraction has room to expand. Stoicism aligns perfectly with this. Marcus Aurelius wrote that self-control is the highest form of power. In dating, restraint communicates confidence. It shows you are not ruled by impulse. Daniel uses his voice deliberately. Lower tone, fewer words. He does not compliment her body. He comments on how she carries herself, how present she feels. This keeps tension emotional, not transactional. Laura notices. She starts playing with her hair. She leans in when she speaks. These are signals. Daniel does not react immediately. He lets them land. The tension thickens. Another key here is withdrawal. After a moment of closeness, Daniel slightly leans back. He breaks eye contact first. This creates contrast. It signals control. Sexual tension needs push and pull, not chase and retreat. Epictetus taught that a man who controls desire controls himself. Slow tension is desire under discipline. It does not beg. It does not rush. It allows. Laura eventually touches Daniel's arm and leaves her hand there. That is her choice. That is the moment tension turns into invitation. Folks, when you build slow tension, you stop asking for intimacy. You allow her body to say yes before words ever appear. Women rarely reject what they feel they are choosing. If this resonates, anchor it now. I lead calmly. Stay right here. What you are learning teaches you how to let desire come to you instead of chasing it away. And that shift changes everything about how intimacy unfolds. Step 4. Make her feel chosen. Folks, this is where intimacy quietly shifts from possibility to momentum. A woman opens herself not when she feels wanted, but when she feels chosen. There is a difference, and most men never learn it. Let's be clear. Wanting is hungry energy. It points outward. It scans. It seeks approval. Being chosen feels calm. It feels intentional. It says, I see you, and I am present here by choice, not by need. That distinction changes everything in how intimacy develops. From a psychological perspective, feeling chosen activates security and desire at the same time. It removes competition anxiety and replaces it with personal relevance. When a woman feels interchangeable, her guard stays up. When she feels singled out without pressure, she relaxes. Stoicism supports this principle. Marcus Aurelius wrote that attention is the most sincere form of respect. When you give your attention deliberately without distraction or urgency, it communicates value more powerfully than compliments ever could. Making her feel chosen is not about flattery. It is about presence. You slow down. You stop scanning the room. You put your phone away. Your body orientation stays with her. Your tone softens not to please, but to connect. Here is where men often fail. They confuse sexual interest with selection. They compliment her appearance, escalate physically, or signal desire too loudly. That makes her feel targeted, not chosen. Targeted creates pressure. Chosen creates warmth. Epictetus taught that we should not attach ourselves to outcomes outside our control. When you let go of the need for intimacy to happen, your presence becomes grounded. That grounded presence allows her to feel chosen rather than pursued. This step also involves contrast. You are not trying to impress every woman. You are not broadcasting availability. You are choosing this moment, this conversation, this connection. That selective focus creates polarity. Psychologically, desire deepens when a woman senses that your attention is not cheap, that it is not given away freely to everyone. Calm selectivity signals confidence. It says, I am here because I want to be, not because I need validation. Stoic discipline reinforces this. Seneca wrote that a man who knows his worth does not rush to prove it. When you are relaxed in your value, selection feels natural. You are not auditioning, you are participating. Making her feel chosen also means listening for meaning, not just words. Responding to what she shares emotionally, not steering the conversation toward physical outcomes. When she feels emotionally recognized, intimacy feels personal instead of transactional. This is where many rejections disappear. Not because you convinced her, but because she stopped feeling evaluated. She feels seen. She feels safe to lean in. If you want deeper guidance on how to build this kind of presence consistently, consider joining the channel membership. That is where we break these dynamics down further with clarity and discipline for men who take growth seriously. Before we move on, anchor this insight by commenting below. I choose intentionally. Stay right here. What comes next builds directly on this shift, and it is where most men either solidify attraction or quietly lose it without realizing why. Step 5. Let her lean in. Folks, this step separates men who create natural intimacy from men who keep forcing moments that never quite land. Let her lean in. That sounds simple, but it requires discipline most men do not practice. Let's be honest. When desire builds, the instinct is to close the distance, to move faster, to secure the moment. But intimacy deepens when the movement comes from her, not because you stopped leading, but because you created the space for her to choose. Here is what that looks like in real life. Kevin is 48, a divorced operations manager from Denver. He is spending an evening with Melissa, 44, confident, warm, and intuitive. They have already built emotional safety. The tension is there. Kevin feels it clearly. Instead of escalating physically, Kevin pauses. He stays present. His posture remains open but relaxed. He does not fill the silence. Melissa notices. She shifts closer on the couch. Her knee brushes his leg. Kevin does not react immediately. He acknowledges it with a calm glance and continues the conversation. This is leadership through restraint. Letting her lean in does not mean being passive. It means resisting the urge to overperform. Many men kill attraction by rushing to prove desire. They touch too soon. They talk too much. They lean in before she has decided. Psychology shows that people value what they move toward. When a woman initiates even small steps of closeness, her brain invests. She feels ownership of the moment. Rejection becomes unlikely because she is choosing not responding. Kevin understands this intuitively. When Melissa leans closer, he does not grab. He stays grounded. Later, she reaches for his hand and holds it. That is her decision. Kevin simply meets it with calm presence. Stoicism teaches this clearly. Epictetus said that strength comes from governing impulses. When you feel desire and do not obey it immediately, you communicate confidence. You show that intimacy is an option, not a need. Letting her lean in also requires tolerance for uncertainty. You may feel the moment could stall. That discomfort is where growth happens. Marcus Aurelius reminded us not to be carried away by impressions. The impression says act now or lose it. Reality says patience deepens it. Melissa feels safe because Kevin is not rushing. She feels chosen because he is present. She feels free because nothing is demanded. That combination allows her desire to move forward naturally. Another mistake men make here is reassurance seeking. Asking questions like, "Are you comfortable?" or "Do you want this?" breaks the spell. It shifts intimacy into negotiation. Letting her lean in keeps the moment embodied, not verbal. Kevin notices Melissa's breathing slow. Her body turns toward him fully. That is the green light most men miss while overthinking words. He meets her movement calmly. The connection feels mutual, not extracted. Folks, women rarely reject intimacy, they initiate. When you allow her to take even one step toward you, you reduce pressure and increase trust. That is how intimacy becomes smooth instead of awkward. If this resonates, lock it in right now. I allow choice. Stay right here. What we are building now is your ability to let attraction come to you instead of chasing it away. And that skill changes how every intimate moment unfolds from here on out. Step 6. Remove pressure completely. Folks, this step is where everything either flows naturally or collapses under its own weight. Pressure is the silent killer of intimacy. You can do everything right. Read the moment, create safety, build tension. Let her lean in and still fail if pressure sneaks back into the room. Let's be honest, pressure is not always loud. Sometimes it is subtle. It lives in expectation, in urgency, in the unspoken hope that something must happen tonight. Women feel this instantly, even when men think they are hiding it well. Psychology is clear here. When pressure is present, the nervous system shifts into defense. Desire cannot coexist with obligation. The moment intimacy feels expected, it stops feeling chosen. Removing pressure starts internally. You must genuinely accept that intimacy may not happen and be fully okay with that outcome. This is not a trick. This is posture. When your body believes there is nothing to prove and nothing to secure, your energy changes. Stoicism teaches this at its core. Epictetus said that peace comes from wanting events to happen as they do not as we wish them to. When you release attachment to outcome, you become emotionally unshakable. That calm is felt. Pressure also shows up in pacing, moving too fast, escalating too many steps at once, closing physical distance without allowing emotional alignment to catch up. Removing pressure means slowing everything down until nothing feels rushed. Another source of pressure is language, questions that seek reassurance, statements that imply expectation, even silence filled with tension instead of ease. When pressure is gone, silence feels relaxed, not loaded. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to remain steady, whether praised or rejected. In dating, this means your demeanor does not change based on her response. You stay grounded, whether she leans in or leans back. That consistency signals safety. Removing pressure also means allowing moments to end naturally, not stretching the night longer than it needs to be. Not forcing one more drink, one more moment, one more opportunity. Ending on calm confidence preserves attraction far more than chasing a result. Seneca warned that desire becomes a tyrant when it demands satisfaction. When you remove pressure, desire becomes a companion instead of a master. You are no longer trying to extract intimacy. You are allowing it to emerge if and when it is ready. This step also requires trust. Trust that attraction does not disappear because you did not act immediately. Trust that what is meant to grow will grow without force. Pressure comes from fear of loss. Confidence comes from abundance of self. When pressure is gone, intimacy becomes lighter, playful, natural. The room feels open, the moment breathes. This is when closeness often happens unexpectedly, precisely because nothing is demanded. For men who practice Stoicism, this should feel familiar. Control what is yours, release what is not. Your presence is yours, her choice is hers. If this perspective lands, ground it now. I release pressure. Stay right here. What comes next shows you how removing pressure actually gives you more influence, not less, when the moment truly matters. Step 7. Give her an exit. Folks, this step sounds counterintuitive, but it is one of the strongest psychological principles behind natural intimacy. When a woman knows she can leave freely, she feels safer staying. When there is no exit, desire tightens and resistance appears. Let's be real. Nobody opens up when they feel trapped. Emotional or physical pressure kills attraction faster than almost anything else. Giving her an exit removes that pressure completely and replaces it with choice. Here is how this plays out in real life. Paul is 51, a logistics manager from North Carolina. He is spending an evening with Amanda, 46, thoughtful, warm and cautious from past relationships. They are sitting close after dinner, conversation flowing easily. The tension is there, but Paul notices Amanda hesitate slightly, not pulling away, just pausing. This is the moment where most men push. Paul does the opposite. He leans back slightly and says calmly and without disappointment, "We can slow down or change the subject if you want." His tone is relaxed. No frustration, no expectation, just space. Amanda exhales. Her shoulders drop. She smiles. What just happened is important. Paul did not lose momentum. He created safety. By giving her an exit, he removed the fear of being cornered. Amanda now knows she is choosing to stay, not being guided towards something she must accept. Psychology supports this strongly. When people feel autonomy, they become more open. When autonomy is threatened, resistance appears. Intimacy grows when choice is preserved. Amanda stays close. A few moments later, she moves closer again on her own. Paul does not comment on it. He simply stays present. That second approach is deeper than the first because it is freely chosen. Stoicism aligns perfectly with this principle. Epictetus taught that forcing outcomes creates suffering. True influence comes from allowing others to act according to their own will. When you give her an exit, you show confidence in yourself and respect for her agency. Many men fear that offering an exit will end the moment. In reality, it often strengthens it. Desire does not want to be chased. It wants to feel safe moving forward. Paul notices another shift. Amanda begins initiating small touches. She asks more personal questions. The energy changes from cautious to curious. All because pressure is gone. Giving her an exit can be verbal or behavioral. You can suggest stepping outside, changing topics, or calling it a night without attachment. Your body language matters too. Open posture, relaxed pace, no blocking her movement, no hovering. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that a man should never act as if something must happen. In dating, this mindset keeps you grounded. When nothing is forced, everything flows more naturally. For men in their 40s and 50s, this skill matters deeply. You are not here to persuade, you are here to invite. The difference is subtle but powerful. Paul did not lose attraction by giving space. He increased trust. And trust is what allows intimacy to deepen naturally. If this pattern feels familiar to you, anchor it now by commenting below. I respect choice. Stay right here. What we are building is not tactics, it is calm authority. The next steps show you how to lead intimacy without ever making her feel pushed or cornered. Step 8. Turn intimacy into her idea. Folks, this step is where rejection almost disappears when everything before it has been done correctly. People rarely resist what they believe they chose themselves. Intimacy feels safest, strongest, and most natural when it becomes her idea, not your request. Let's be clear from the start. This is not manipulation. This is alignment. You are not planting thoughts. You are creating a space where her desire can surface without pressure. The difference matters. Most men ask directly because they are anxious. They want certainty, but certainty kills attraction. When intimacy is framed as a question, it becomes a decision she must defend. When it emerges as her idea, there is nothing to resist. Psychology explains this simply. Humans protect autonomy. We push back against pressure, even subtle pressure, but we lean into choices that feel self-directed. When a woman feels she is choosing closeness rather than granting it, desire flows instead of freezes. This step works only if the earlier foundations are solid. Emotional safety is present, pressure is gone, exit exists, tension is alive but unforced. Now the moment is ready. Turning intimacy into her idea happens through suggestion, not asking, through observation, not demand, through atmosphere, not instruction. Instead of saying what you want, you describe what you notice. You might calmly say that being this close is distracting, then smile and pause. You are not asking permission. You are naming a shared experience and letting her respond. That pause is powerful. It gives her room to act. If she moves closer, touches you, or deepens eye contact, she is choosing. Words become unnecessary. Stoicism supports this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the wise man does not force events, he cooperates with them. When you stop forcing intimacy, you allow it to unfold according to its nature. Another way intimacy becomes her idea is through restraint at the peak moment. When you feel the strongest pull, you slow down instead of accelerating. That contrast invites her nervous system to step forward. Desire fills the gap you do not rush to close. Epictetus taught that strength comes from mastery over impulse. When you feel desire and still remain composed, you shift power gently back to her choice. She senses that nothing is required of her. That freedom invites initiative. This step also depends on language that opens imagination instead of closing options. You speak in observations and possibilities, not requests. You allow the idea to form without needing to claim it. Seneca warned that anything taken by force cannot be held. Intimacy works the same way. When it is taken, it fades. When it is chosen, it deepens. Turning intimacy into her idea means trusting the process, trusting timing, trusting that attraction does not need to be pushed. This is difficult for men who equate leadership with action. True leadership here is patience. When intimacy becomes her idea, rejection loses meaning. She cannot reject herself. She can only move closer or not yet. Either way, your frame stays intact. This is the calm power of Stoic dating. You are present, aware, and unattached to outcome. You guide without forcing. You allow desire to reveal itself. If this insight lands for you, anchor it now. I trust attraction. Stay right here. What you are learning now is subtle, but it is the difference between awkward moments and effortless connection. Keep watching. This understanding changes how intimacy unfolds without ever needing to ask. Step 9. Lead without asking. Folks, this step is where many men feel the most internal conflict. They have been told their whole lives to ask, to check, to seek permission. In intimacy, that instinct often creates hesitation and kills momentum. Leading without asking does not mean ignoring consent. It means guiding the moment with calm confidence instead of verbal negotiation. Let's be real. When you ask directly, you hand over leadership. You turn desire into a decision she must analyze. Analysis creates distance. Leadership creates flow. Here is how this looks in real life. Brian is 50, an operations director from Minnesota. He is spending an evening with Claire, 46, thoughtful, feminine, and emotionally aware. They have already built safety. The tension is there. The mood is quiet and close. Brian feels the urge to ask a question that would relieve his uncertainty. Instead, he leads the environment. He stands and says calmly, "Let's move over here, it's more comfortable." His tone is relaxed, not demanding. Claire follows without hesitation. Leadership has already happened. No permission required, no pressure applied. This is the principle. Leadership is shown through action, not words. Brian sits down and leaves space beside him. He does not pull Claire in. He simply opens the invitation with his body language. Claire chooses to sit close. Now, intimacy is unfolding without a single question being asked. Psychology explains why this works. When a man leads smoothly, he removes cognitive load. She does not have to decide. She simply responds. This feels safe when everything before it has been handled correctly. Claire rests her arm against his. Brian does not comment. He stays present. When he places his hand on her back, it is slow, deliberate, and responsive to her body language. No rush, no grabbing, just guidance. This is what leading without asking actually means. You pay attention. You move one step at a time. You stop immediately if her body does not follow. Stoicism supports this approach. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man should act with quiet certainty, not loud explanation. Over-explaining signals doubt. Calm action signals trust in yourself. Many men confuse leadership with force. That is a mistake. Real leadership is directional, not aggressive. It shows the path and allows others to walk it willingly. Brian notices Claire lean in further. Her breathing slows. She mirrors his pace. These are the answers. No verbal yes is needed because her body is already saying it. Epictetus taught that freedom comes from aligning action with reason. Reason here means awareness. You are not guessing. You are reading and responding. Leading without asking also protects you. If she hesitates, you pause. You adjust. You do not feel rejected because nothing was demanded. You simply remain composed and present. This is why this step is so powerful for men in their 40s and 50s. You do not need games. You need clarity. When you lead with calm authority, intimacy becomes cooperative instead of conditional. Brian never asked for permission. He never pushed. He guided the moment and let Claire choose at every step. That is masculine leadership done correctly. If this resonates with you, anchor it now. I lead calmly. Stay right here. This awareness helps you move through intimate moments without fear, pressure, or second-guessing, and that changes how women experience your presence completely. Step 10. Let actions say yes. Folks, this final step ties everything together. When intimacy is right, words become unnecessary. Actions speak first clearly and without confusion. The moment you stop waiting for verbal permission and start paying attention to behavior, rejection loses its power. Let's be real. Many men look for a spoken yes because they are uncertain. They want reassurance. But desire rarely announces itself with words. It reveals itself through movement, proximity, and willingness. When a woman is comfortable, her body answers before her mouth ever does. This step is about observation, not assumption. When actions say yes, there is no pressure, no convincing, and no negotiation. She stays close when she could step away. She maintains eye contact instead of breaking it. She mirrors your pace. She touches and does not pull back. These are decisions being made in real time. Stoicism teaches us to trust what is observable, not what we hope for. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we should concern ourselves only with what is plainly before us. In intimacy, what is plainly before you is her behavior, not your fantasy of where things should go. Many men sabotage themselves at this stage by talking too much. They ask questions that pull intimacy out of the body and into the head. The moment becomes analytical instead of experiential. When actions are already saying yes, words only slow things down. Let actions lead. If she moves closer, you stay present. If she maintains contact, you maintain it calmly. If she withdraws even slightly, you pause without complaint. There is no need to label or explain. You simply respond to what is happening. Epictetus taught that wisdom is knowing when to act and when to refrain. This is that moment. Acting does not mean escalating aggressively. It means staying aligned with what is being offered. One of the most powerful signals is consistency. When her actions remain warm over time, not just in flashes, desire is stable. When actions fluctuate, you slow down. There is no rejection here, only information. This step also protects your dignity. You are no longer risking ego on a question. You are reading reality. If the actions are not there, nothing has been lost. Your frame stays intact. Seneca warned that expectation is the root of disappointment. When you let actions speak, expectation fades. You are not waiting for an answer. You are witnessing a choice unfold. For men in midlife, this is especially important. You have no need to chase certainty. You value clarity. Actions provide that clarity without drama. This is also where calm leadership becomes visible. You are not passive. You are attentive. You guide, gently adjust when needed, and remain composed throughout. That composure is what makes intimacy feel safe and natural. When actions say yes, intimacy feels mutual. When they do not, you remain steady and respectful. There is no awkward moment to recover from because nothing was forced. This is the Stoic approach to closeness. Observe, accept, respond. Do not cling. Do not rush. Let reality guide your behavior. If you apply everything you learned in this video, asking becomes unnecessary. Rejection becomes rare. And intimacy becomes something that unfolds, not something you request. This is where disciplined men operate. Calm, aware, unattached to outcome. Let actions speak. They always tell the truth. All right, folks, let's wrap this up. In this video, we broke down how intimacy actually happens when you stop asking for it and start leading it. You learned how to read the moment, create emotional safety, build slow tension, remove pressure, and let her choice unfold naturally. The value here is simple but powerful. You protect your frame, avoid rejection, and allow intimacy to happen without awkwardness or force. If you want to go deeper into Stoic self-mastery, masculine leadership, and real-world relationship dynamics, consider joining the channel membership. That's where we work at a higher level with clarity, discipline, and no noise. And if this kind of content helps you think more clearly and move through life with confidence, make sure you subscribe to the channel. New videos are coming regularly, built to sharpen your judgment and strengthen your presence. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I appreciate it. Take care, stay grounded, and I'll see you again tomorrow.